I'd like to begin by responding to a question by a woman named Helene, who is asking specifically how she can explain purgatory to someone. Well, the word purgatory means to purify or to purge. The understanding of this doctrine came, well, it really developed in two different ways. First of all, in the Old Testament, and we see this clearly, for example, in the book of Maccabees, when some of the Maccabean soldiers, who were Jewish soldiers fighting against an oppressive foreign occupying army that wanted to impose a foreign religion on them, when in the course of one of their battles, a number of the soldiers died, when their comrades came to bury them, they found pagan idols hidden in their clothing. And so it became the conclusion of the leader of the army and the other soldiers that their death was somehow related to the fact that they had had a mixed belief. What happens next is the most important. They took up a collection, all the soldiers, for their fallen comrades to send to Jerusalem so that sacrifice could be offered for their fallen brothers. And we're told in that book of Maccabees that this was a holy and a pious thing, and that they acted rightly in view of the resurrection. So there was this sense that while our sins are forgiven by God who is merciful, still God takes our freedom seriously. And before we can enter fully into the presence of God in the glory and the freedom of God's children, we need to be able to take responsibility for the effects of our actions. And because we exist in a community of faith, I can help my brothers and sisters do that. We're told in the letter to the Hebrews that nothing that is not holy can enter into God's presence. In the New Testament, there is Lazarus who dies and is in the bosom of Abraham, and then the rich man who is in torment. Again, there is this sense of an interim state between dying and entering into the fullness of God's glory. And then finally, St. Paul in one of his letters makes a reference to a man who had died and says, "May the Lord have mercy on him and on his family." So Helene, thank you very much for that question. I hope these thoughts are helpful in providing an answer.